Here's what I decided for this meeting. We have, Mark wants to know the warranty and the specs on the playground equipment, so we'll do that first. We'll do the golf course, and then the regional sit here and I brought my map, and you brought your map. Oh, we're so clever. And you know what, I actually brought the renditions from the city, which is, where you can see it all and the amounts.
Right.
Rhonda, you have 100 feet up front? You have 100 feet up front?
Of the museum?
Yeah.
Most likely.
Well, I think it's 75 feet and then another 25 on that one side going up the hill. That is, I don't think there's building there, but there's parking there. Maybe I'm wrong.
The museum, I think, owns 2 lots. There's the 50-foot lot.
This here, but I think I'm lying to you. I think because there's actually that. Yeah.
You see about this side and then all this over here.
Okay.
So there's cement. That is like a little sidewalk. Side to side.
Okay.
That's the only thing you know that don't supposed to go on the, from the building down to the level.
Dwight has that piece on the other side of him. And he's only, if we said to him, would you like us to mow it? I'm sure he'd go,
Well, I know he asked us not to put a fence or anything up. He didn't want anything that would stop stuff from blowing by and whatnot, and a place to use snow or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, we've visited with him a couple different times.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Anyway,
Have a seat right here if you want, Mike. Is it 15?
Yep,
Okay, I'm gonna start.
we have a quorum.
We do. Kelly will be coming. She's at work. So, Brock, I have Brock Stravis on the phone. He is a board member and at work. Did you hear me, Brock?
I can, yes,
Oh, okay. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Here is the warranty on our playground equipment. Oh yeah, you can have,
I gave him one.
okay. All right, here's the warranty, Mark.
And then, did they say anything about, once they order it, when for installation?
The plan is, it's going to be here the end of May, the 1st of June. But Mark, you know how supply goes these days,
Well,
so you
yeah,
can't hold
I
anybody
would
to
just
the
wonder,
supply.
you know.
But you know what? I have no concerns that they're not on it. Here is the playground equipment, which you already have a copy of. Did you find it? Okay.
Yeah, I would just, we want to make sure that, we're covered with the warranty.
That is, read it. It's
Well,
top of the line
there's a
playground
lot to
equipment.
read, but
And I just didn't pick out playground equipment. I shop playground equipment.
oh yeah, go. we just didn't wanna get, backyard equipment, we wanted to get commercial, you know.
Well, that's what that is. Are you
Yeah, we
saying that? Or we? We?
As in the park board,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what was advised to us by, the Bismarck, insurance, or our, NODA insurance. Remember the guy that Mark that we talked to?
Mm-hmm.
He was to make sure we don't buy nothing faulty or whatever, buy quality, so we don't have that issue. Yeah, because we were looking at some used equipment, and he advised us kind of not to go in that direction, to buy new, and
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're buying quality equipment.
Hi. We're just doing the playground equipment, we just got started. This is Kelly. Kelly is a member of the park board. Steps are, we are purchasing from Dakota Playground, which is Dakota Fence. They have their own crew that come and install.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that everything gets done correctly.
Did we know that timeline by chance or no?
No, they're telling me the end of May, the 1st of June, but
Okay. Yeah.
you know what happens with supplies.
Okay, so you just going by before the end of the year.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
hopefully early summer. Chris has got that ground looking in, it's covered in snow, but it's looking like, you put a start to that part.
It's ready for them to go.
Yeah, yeah,
We can't do nothing, I can't put it just say.
no,
They'll
yep,
cement post in and do all that.
yep.
That'll all come after, so it's pretty much.
And Jason is going to come here and lay it out for you.
Once it's dry, I'll run it over with the rig again, level it out, and then it's ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Can I make a motion that we go ahead and purchase, playground equipment?
uh-huh. That's the first motion you've made since September.
That tells you something.
Okay, golf course donation. Oh, all in favor? All opposed? None. We're gonna move to the golf course donation. And I have a check for $5,000. And I understand it's gonna go for the interior work you're doing at the golf course right now.
Thank you very much, hope you want me to get by the mic there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're working on an addition to the front. If you've driven by there, you'll see the white, whatever that skin is you put under siding. We're gonna try to get some air in there. We're short about 10,000 now, but I got some leaves. This is really gonna help. This gets us up to about 15. We need about 25 to finish that project. We framed it out last year with some volunteers. What happens when we get a event, it's hot sun, people been golfing, we need to get them out of the sun so they can have their burgers and comfort. So we have a bigger golf course project, or clubhouse project we're working on long term. There's some other repairs we need out there, but they're very expensive. It's bathrooms upstairs, new deck, that kind of stuff, and we're kicking around options for that. This is gonna go directly to finishing that front, so we have some air conditioning and comfort in there for our customers when they're done golfing. And then so thank you very much for this, and I'll get this put in with our accountant. The second thing is, when I talked to Judy about this, we have a second project involving Painted Woods. As you guys know, the way the golf course came about is that Park Board land, and then it's run by a nonprofit board. So Lynn Obert is our director of our water board for the county, and some years ago, we had some flooding problems and damage potential down in the Painted Woods watershed on the lower end. Lynn has been basically some weeks, it's amazing to me, you're a full-time volunteer for the county for years, doing a lot to get the flooding fixed, and we purchased some land to create a diversion. Point being is we're trying to maximize the recreation value, and we have a stocking program with Game and Fish. We're making the dams like that fish passable. We're gonna be looking at some potential new boat ramps, canoe ramps, kayak ramps. Lynn, can you just maybe give them the bullet points that we've been working on?
Yes.
There is an ask that might be coming at you guys for some help. Just I'll give a hypothetical example and then I'll turn it over to Lynn. There was a club down in Mott of elderly ladies that kayaked the Cannonball River. And they had a CFR story about them. And they went to raise money and they bought a kayak dock, which allows them to put their kayak in without going in the water. And then with handles and stuff, get in and out of the kayak. So we had a big club project and they did it. Well, if we could work out something that would make it easier to get both canoes and kayaks in and out of there, we already have a couple ramps. I just looked them up, they're like $2,500. But then we would need somebody, because Lynn and I have been doing this forever, like a commitment that the city employees, somebody would go down and pull them out in the fall and put them in the spring. They're really small, they're not like the one down here. But just that kind of thing, if we could start partnering with Park Board about some of those things. But Lynn can kind of give you guys where we're at on recreation stuff primarily.
Okay, thanks, Mike. It's probably safe for me to say that I'm probably the oldest guy, the oldest person in the room here.
I know.
You're much younger than that. But just to get an idea, I grew up, down here. That's actually my farm right down here at the old Pinner Woods Lake. And there virtually was no public access to Pinner Woods Lake, Pinner Woods Creek. The golf course was created, about 1978 or 80? Yeah. So the people from Wilton and Washburn got together and created a 9-hole golf course. That created some of the first public access up in this area. You can see where the pink little tags are. And then, of course, another nine holes were added. Down below, where there's an orange right here, where the red light is, that's Caps Dam. That's where the Caps Dam is, where that blue and orange tag. And Caps Dam is what the State Water Commission considers a level 2 dam safety, for dam safety. And so we have to do what we call a level 2 dam safety restoration project, which involves filling it in with a bunch of rocks. Over the years, I think there was maybe 2 people that drowned it out there at Caps Dam over the years. And I had one guy tell me just last summer his dog got in there and almost drowned from what they call hydraulic lowering. So while we were doing this restoration project, we had a number of people that come to us and wanted to have fish passage. The Game and Fish has been stocking in this area. That they've been stocking northerns and walleyes in there, and so we started looking at it, as a potential project. Well, the State Water Commission wouldn't let us just do the dam safety project first and then come in and do the fish passage. So we're actually doing both projects as one project. We're actually ready to bid both projects and then go to the State Water Commission. We did receive about $130,000 of grant money from Outdoor Heritage for the fish passage, and then we'll go back into the State Water Commission after we bid the project, and we're estimating that repair on the Caps Dam will be about $150,000 to $160,000. 75% of that will be money from the state to help us with the repairs. I passed out a sheet of paper that's in front of you that has a map on there, and you can wonder where does the water come from. The water actually starts up by New Johns Lake, and then there's almost 40 miles of Pinner Woods Creek. And so that meanders down, and it's not just a straight line, so it's close to 40 miles. The Bureau of Reclamation starts running 25 to 30 CFS of water early in the spring and runs until late in the fall. And I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but the golf course uses about 600 gallons a minute. for water and drains and airways. And so that's a big help, and sometimes there's gravel companies, that are using or washing gravel, but there's always a lot of water going over, Cass Dam, and so part of this fish passage, project, and I'll just show you a quick, everything has to, when we're working with, all these projects, everything has to be engineered and go through engineers, but, on here, this shows where the rock is, and then this area right around, going around the dam will be the fish passage, and it'll be like, fish will be able to hop from one level to another, there'll be pools of water, and fish know how to do that. I couldn't do it, but fish know how to do that. But the big thing is, and Lad's been working with the golf course, we wanna create, recreation opportunities for younger people, for young kids. We talked earlier, before some of you came here, that the Missouri River is a dangerous place to be for any age of person, but you can take your young kids out there and they'll be able to fish and recreate, in certain locations on the Painted Woods Golf Course. I did get permission from, Tim Ford. Tim, if you want to grab that map again? Where the green is up here, Tim Ford owns a bunch of that creek area, and that's all public access. And then from the south side of 83 all the way down, you start down here, so there's 1, 2, 3 miles below the 83 bridge that'll be accessible for kayak launching. And you can see where this blue tag is, if I can hold it steady. That's where we're gonna, this spring we'll be putting a kayak launch there. And then there's also down here, there's actually another public access where this blue tag is down here. There's already a public parking lot and public access in Painted Woods. And both of those can work, will work as kayak launches, or if someone wants to canoe. But the big thing that we're really looking forward to is the opportunity for young kids to, if the dad wants to go golfing, golf around do a round of golf, and you can bring us little kids and they can fish in certain locations on the golf course. And then buy them a hamburger afterwards.
Yep. I think that sounds fabulous.
So what happened after 2011 flood, it quit stocking that area, and the fishing pretty much died. So 5 years ago, I had a meeting with Game and Fish on another project, and then they agreed to start putting the next year, started putting the leftovers when they were coming off the prairies back to Riverdale, and they had some extra fry. Last year, we switched that to a full tank of walleyes, and that's gonna be continuing now that we get better access. But it takes about 3 years from what they put in there to get an eater. But last May, I would drive by there every day, and there was 5, 6 kids down there getting a limit of like walleyes like this. And some bigger ones get in there out of New John. The idea here is to have low impact, low cost, quality fishing in probably May and in the winter. Once it warms up, it's probably rough fish and stuff, but so far it's been working in May. Right before I saw last year, there were 7 port lighthouses right by the Industry Bridge. I want to designate a couple spots on the golf course. There's no reason why it won't be the same. Once we get this passage, then people can come out, use the golf course, hopefully in May, and in the winter, get a limit of walleyes if you want, without, just for some Mountain Dews and a bucket of minnows, not a $100,000 boat and $50,000 ice castle, the high impact stuff. So where we're at, Lynn, what do you think it would be the ask that we'd be looking, if we can, we're looking at some big dollars from other sources. Not here to ask for big dollars here, but if we could round out some projects by coming back to you.
Yeah, if we could come back, like for a couple of kayak launches, we actually got, with that, get my right light here, where the first launches along 83, that's, where the old rest area site, that's being transferred from the State Highway Department to the Game and Fish as we speak. That transfer should be complete here within a week or so. And then right off of that, the old rest area site is where the kayak launches. We actually got $50,000 from the Outdoor Heritage to do the dirt work and hauling gravel and get the site ready. We actually got $115,000 roughly for the fish passage on Cass Dam from Outdoor Heritage last fall. And we also, there's up from the golf course, about 3 or 4 miles, is the Lost Lake Reserve. There's another, dam up there on the Lost Lake. I don't know if many of you know where that's at or have been there, but, we got about $60,000 for fish passage on the Lost Lake Dam. And we know from experience that people over the years have caught northerns and walleyes in that stretch from the Lost Lake clear up to almost to Highway 41, because there's deep holes along that. And so we know that there's fish, coming through that siphon at John's Lake. We're gonna try and get the game fish to add more fish and so more people can recreate along that 40 miles of lake.
Okay.
Rich, can you point out the trout pond there? Because I wanted to just mention that. I'm trying to get more use out of it, but trout pond is down right there. Oops. I think you're just up a little bit. Right there. No.
Right there?
No, the trout pond that we have on River Road.
This one.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
So that one, I'd like to get the word out on that. Was that 500 keeper eater trout? And they went down to 300 because they're concerned nobody's really using it. But at the beginning of May, they're putting those in there. It's kind of a kids pond. I went down there last year. They were surfacing all over. I think Rachel Ritter or somebody, I said, I need some people to start using that and send me some pictures too. I'm trying to keep that up. But until the water warms up, once the water warms up, we'll start. There aren't going to be much for eating. But in May, if you want to get 3, put on there and fly fish or something and catch 3 pan-sized trout, they're coming right out of the Garrison field. And I'd like to get the word out to younger people that in May, there's a pretty good resource there for some catchable trout right now. The permits are eating them, they don't winter in there. But we dug that out when we bought the land and we established it, and now it's supposed to be used. You can drive right down there with a fly rod or just a spinner and catch 3 trout a night if you want.
So that's a mile, roughly a mile or 3/4 of a mile off of the 1804-83 junction. It's right along the road. There's a parking lot, and usually.
And how do you get this? You said it's a mile? You go down the highway
You go
about a
down,
mile?
you turn off on 1804 right here.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then you just go about a mile south, and then there's a parking lot right here.
And you can drive right down to the dam.
And then there's a gate, and the only time that gate is closed is in the fall when pheasants and deer hunting start.
Okay.
Otherwise, they leave it open so people can drive down and fish where the dam is.
It's probably 10, 12 feet in the middle. They dug it out when we bought it, came and fished it,
Yeah.
and stored it. Again, it's not something that's gonna winter much, but they give us, last year they gave us 300 rainbows about that size. So we would like people to get down there in May. I'd like, if somebody goes, I'd like to get pictures, because I'm trying to get game fish to keep supporting that. And I think once the word gets out there, I don't know why you wouldn't go down there and catch some trout,
Or catch some walleyes along the creek.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then Jack Spanish is, his portfolio is the golf course.
Okay.
So if you treat him good out there, he'll treat you good. So.
We'll work on that. But the only other point I wanted to make is that from 83 all the way down along here, it's all public access now. You can come in from, you can go about a mile and a half south from the 1804-83 junction and then go down to where this blue tag is. And then there's down here is where that public access is. Yeah, and it's all along there, it's public access. So, for us, that's an important thing.
I have a quick question on this.
Yeah.
So where the old rest area is, where you're talking about putting in the kayak dock,
Yeah.
are you gonna slope that bank a little bit? Like, I take my paddle boat in there and it's like, just such a steep drop.
Yeah, no, the drop, if you're on the, north side of 83 where the Game and Fish has had a little location, that's a real steep bank.
Yeah.
But the bank is a lot less steep on the south side where we're gonna be putting that launch. And then it's gonna be leveled out, so you can actually walk in there, and we're hoping to get some kind of a little kayak. You can't believe how many women have. When is that gonna be ready? When is it gonna be ready? And we've had just a lot of people that have found out about it. And, it's gonna be tapered, and then hopefully we'll have you can slide your kayak out into the water, and then walk out and drop right into that.
I mean, that's why we live in North Dakota, so we can do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
you know what,
Any
thank
other
you
questions?
very much, thank you, Les.
You got this,
And you can keep us in that list. Okay, we're gonna move on to the Legion and, the park that we are now partnering with. I've got a copy of, not a set in stone, but a probable, plan for how the park is gonna be. Actually, they're kind of concentrating on putting this in the center back, because if we actually got some names, bands that we could get to come in here and use this, we would close off the street and use the street as, you know,
This is Main right here.
yep, that's me. And our property is,
Yeah, yours is, this from here to here, this is what the Legion bought when we got rid of that old warehouse or old building that was there. And, so we're working on figuring out where we wanna put our,
come look.
where we wanna put our concrete slabs and stuff. Because we're gonna try and get some more, concrete from up the plant up here.
Yeah,
And so we need to kind of do that fairly early, and then we need to find out ourselves where the utilities are gonna come in and where they're gonna go. Because on here, this is one that, Terry Dvorak put together, and this is pretty much the scale. And we were thinking this would be the men's and, bathroom and utility room, and then they wanted to put a concession off of it.
so they're
And
actually gonna have a concession booth there, which will be,
just a room, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there'll be electricity in it and probably a water faucet or something if they need it. And that way, if there's a band or something there, or if the summer sports is doing something down there or whatnot, they have some place that they can sell out of it. And then,
The other thing on the bathroom, what we were thinking, this town, if you just come to town and go to town, there is no bathroom.
right,
You
That's
know?
what I was gonna ask you, are these gonna be accessible from the outside, or do you have to go in the building?
no, there is no building there.
It's not a,
Building.
will be a
That's where
slab.
that,
Oh, this is slab,
that was
okay.
on,
Yeah. And then this is, another picnic area. The band shell, this is not, it's gonna have to be bigger than that. And we're thinking that our utilities for electric will have to come into about this, because this is where our biggest need for,
Power.
higher,
Yeah.
wattage or voltage
Mhm.
that we'll need for the band. Yeah.
Backwards, main up front here.
Yep, main is up front.
Remember,
Here's,
we talked about putting it back there by the band shelter. It's a great idea, that's where it should go, is on the band shelter. It's
Right.
in an enclosed box, but we talked about, we also should run power to the front,
oh yeah,
up behind the Christmas tree or whatever, so we have additional power.
yeah, we robbed power from you during the winter for the.
That's it, so we had
Oh,
additional.
You're wrong.
Well, yeah,
We taxed their land.
well, I know it is, but we're not robbing. Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, and I know there's more lights that we'd like to put up around the memorial maybe. And then this one here is one that, Newly kind of made up just for us when we first started this project, and we were just brainstorming. And this one has some small, like one picnic table and a little roof over it, so somebody can sit there and have their lunch, or if two people wanna come and shoot the breeze or whatnot. And, he had stuck the restrooms back up here, and then he put the band shell in this back far corner because this is Heddlevitz here, the CPA office, and this is the alley. So he put it this way so that there could be people in this concrete picnic area, and that has a top that we've looked at, and when we were up to Underwood this last fall for a picnic and, trying to get members from up there.
Does the Legion know what's accessible for sewer mains?
No, we don't, and that's what I wanna also know is it out in the main street or is it up in the alley?
Well, those were the questions I was trying to raise before we committed the park board into it, but
Yeah, well, whatever.
same thing with water.
Well,
You know, they had water there for some time for the old courthouse, right?
Right.
Yeah, sewer.
And there was water there for,
Hasn't been water in that building since.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't dig up the pipes and everything.
No, that was in the back of the building,
yeah,
but they did have water for the sprinkler system, right?
that's
Yeah.
in front of the building.
Right.
yep, there's still water there, because when we put the grass seed down, they were able to water it for us so that we could,
That's what they're saying, you know, was it
Put it-
good they were gonna put the bathroom to the dispensary, right? Put the bathrooms back here, and they said, what, the city said, why do that when the water source is here? So then they're charging all the way back, but I don't
yeah.
know how much.
Well, none of these are, none of them were
Nothing's in
just cut in stone, it was just
And,
so that we could see that it would be easier to work with the park board when we go through this stuff than it was to try and sit down with the city and get everything taken care of, because we had too many problems with that at the time.
so with the Legion doing this is me, Ed, with the museum, are they going to do the landscaping and all that, because we have a water issue when the rain comes off of our building? And we tried fixing it, it runs down the side of the building and floods out, it comes, because we have a foundation problem, it comes into our building.
Well,
So that's what I was wondering, with having a slab here, if the water comes down, because we have a little slope.
That really is your land right now. The city could do whatever they want to fix that because
Yeah, I asked them to, you
So
know,
where the end
somehow
of the
turn
courthouse
over a little
or
bit so we could do landscaping
city
and
land.
that, and he said, no.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is.
but, you know,
yeah, well, some of that for a building like that would be like down at Memorial Hall, when we just dug up that whole side and put in drain tile and the whole works and put all that in. I don't know if we really want to do it to the museum, but if you think there's a problem, we don't want a slab there, we can move that slab someplace else, because it's just basically for overflow for porta potties if we have a band come in and we need something more than just a bathroom.
The courthouse,
okay, the slab is, but
when you took the old courthouse down, the company that took down the courthouse did some landscaping to draw the water away from, so I don't know when.
Well, we can help landscape
Yeah.
so we can get water away from that building, that shouldn't be a
Because I was,
problem
you know,
there.
having the downspout, because, you know, going, they go up further into, so it'd probably be on that cement slab, or.
Yeah, because over here, where, Hellvet's at, this slopes into the middle and goes towards the
Oh,
front.
yeah, I remember the snow melting,
Yeah, it all goes that way, and there's no reason why, because we're about, 5 feet from the building to where your property line is? Or is it 3 feet? I know it's not very far when I measured it. And,
Well, because, you know, that we were told 2 feet, there is a cement, like, what I call it, little walkways along the building. That
Right.
owns, that's the museum owns that.
right, okay.
So then they have where it comes down, because you got land where it slopes down and that, it's just, the water just meets there because of the weeds and the grass.
Mm.
Mark's on that board, do you know where their boundaries are?
For,
The historical
Museum.
yeah, he's also on the board.
Yeah, but I just thought
Yeah.
you might know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, about, what, 3 to 5 foot?
I know it's not very far when I
Yeah.
when we measured it, when
I
we
would
were
say
doing
it's a
these
good
measurements.
When, Brian Wilson was on, with the city, he measured and said we were 2 feet from our building.
Oh,
was at our, cause we went through with the radio tower or whatever that, if it was on city land or museum land, and
oh, I see.
so we had to do it then.
Yeah, so it's basically what we're thinking about doing, and of course, you made all these just taped on, so we can, you know, move them around wherever we decide, and the, guys that are, or the board that's taking care of this band shell, they're gonna start working on it and seeing what we can come up with, and we'd like to use something that's multi-purpose, but not just band shell, that if somebody wanted to have a picnic up there under the enclosure, they could as well, or story time, or whatever.
Well, I am hoping to start a story time in the park, and that would be a park when it's a park, you know. But the concession stand to me, from a community point, is in the summertime, we have a church picnic. The guys cook outside, they drag the barbecues, they cook outside, and we eat inside because there's no such a thing as a picnic table. But if we had that concession stand and the tables are there, that would be a natural place to be able to host those things. So, and that's just one group, I'm just thinking, you know, that would be just wonderful.
Yeah, there's,
I was thinking that we, the center part, where it's called concession stand.
right,
I know the long range plan of what, Terry is shooting for is to have, what's his name,
Clint Hill.
Clint Hill,
Yeah.
see if we can get some of his, memorabilia and put it in there. So, you know, I don't think we're selling something there. It's just gonna be just an area for people to go get out of the sun, go to the restrooms, and just be, if a band playing, might be able to talk on the phone.
Oh.
And they can still hear it.
I see, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I haven't been around many different plans.
That's a fabulous idea.
Get that email on for you.
You know, overhead.
And then
I'm not sure.
So
That's
I
enough.
wonder if you'll do like the evening, you know, are you gonna play a place where the people are not looking into the sun, or not there's gonna be people? They wouldn't be looking into the sun.
Done, because it'll be on the back side of the lot, back towards the alley. And, I was gonna show you, this is kind of what we had in mind. They're all,
This is Underwood, right?
right,
Yeah.
that's the one that, some of the stuff at Underwood when we were up there. And they're very nice, they've made them large, concrete is large enough so that when they mow the lawns and stuff, they don't have to worry about going back with a weed eater, they're right flush, they can just put one wheel on the concrete, and the same way with the benches, if you scroll further there, there's, the benches that have, what do they call that? It's like a plastic, but they're metal, but they put that all over them, and then the benches are actually cemented into the ground.
It's like they're dipped in.
Yeah, well, and then they're all dipped. So they're all weather. Huh?
They're like the ones we have at the pool.
Yeah. And everything we do there, we want to be in conscious of easy maintenance and no maintenance as far as putting up the covers and stuff. When we were up to Turtle Lake, last year before, that's out in by their, park area where they have all the baseball and softball fields and everything. They put up one of these shells, or not shells, but picnic area, and they finally had to come in and shimmy underneath because all of the seagulls and stuff were building that stuff up there.
You just didn't want us to be part of it, or what?
Do you have an idea of what
I
the
think-
band shell would look like?
I don't understand your
Well, you didn't vote for it. So
No,
why?
I won't, because I
We
wanted.
looked at a couple different ones, there's one down in Fargo. that we've looked
from the
at.
city, so that way, when we talked
There's
about
been one out in
utilities
Dickinson
and
that
stuff,
we've looked at,
we would be able to,
But
and
we're not, that isn't our problem.
the one in Fargo is way too large for our
to
area.
start with.
It would cost
Our
way
involvement.
too much money.
That makes sense,
The
Our
region would
involvement?
want to,
Okay.
put into.
because we're
Right.
partners,
Um,
so we are involved.
we would like to, make it big enough and universal enough so that I'm not looking for an orchestra to come in and play or a
So like it's
like Cottonwood.
they do it just like that,
Yeah, it'll be big enough for something like that. Last winter, I looked at the one down at Mandan, where they have their park, where they had everything all lit up there. That's a fairly nice one, but they've got theirs built off the ground, so the stage is up probably 4 foot off of the ground, and then it's open on 3 sides, so.
You had a question for me? My answer is, I'm in favor of the park, I wasn't in favor of the property swap. That's what I voted against.
Oh, okay.
No, I've met with the Legion several times on helping, look at the planning idea. I've been talking to them over a year about it.
Well, we did on this one. We haven't done that, because we wanted to make sure we knew where the bigger things were gonna go.
I called them,
Yeah.
they're like,
Gil. Yeah, well, Dick will be back. He's down in Arizona right now, and they're gonna get started on it.
Fine, thanks.
I guess, hey, do good out the golf course.
So,
Keep us
am I
informed.
mowing that then, or am I taking care of it now?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
supposed
what
to be?
the
Well-
next question is.
Or where are we going here?
Until we actually get done and hand you the land, hand you their lot.
No, we would take care of your lot because it's next to our
Well,
lot.
then I would say yes,
Yeah.
not that you would take it over.
You can, and it's,
No, that was one of the questions,
Yeah.
you know,
Last year was sort of a
since I was all rolling, roll into one,
right.
and, I was just curious if I should start taking care of it for spring.
Well,
Right.
You do the other, well, we haven't done anything there. Marvin did it before for us. While he was still here, and we've got, what's one call it down by the post office?
We should really ask this, but that's probably his name all the time. But I don't think, I talked to him about that, and he was leery of that.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that because, Chris is here and he's got the equipment and if we're gonna make, if we're gonna be partners,
Yeah,
we don't have a lawnmower and we do.
right.
Let's just put it this way, I'm willing to do it, if you're willing to let me.
We're willing to.
Oh,
absolutely.
We're just gonna, like I said, if we're gonna be partners and all this, like Mark and Sam, we're gonna be partners, I'll start taking care of it when the grass starts growing.
Absolutely.
My information visiting with the Legion commander is the American Legion would like to transfer their property over to the park board, and they would support us in funding to get these projects, but it sounds like it's gonna all become park board property.
Absolutely.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually.
And this is eventually, and it's gonna take a long time, this park isn't gonna be built in a day.
Right, we're talking a couple-year plus.
And
I would say,
recently we went to
That's kind of what I was thinking anyway, just in store conversations with you and I, that I was already offered up to, for the 15 minutes it's gonna take me to mow it,
yeah, we appreciate it more, and
nobody else has to worry about it then.
I also have to tell you is, we have a company that does our spraying.
Yep.
We should probably maybe look at doing that for you, okay.
For the weeds and stuff.
well, that should be added on to our area
Yeah.
for them to use.
Yeah, I can check and see if we can get a
Yeah,
revised
I like
contract.
Yeah. And
They know
it might not
what
even, you know what, they may not be able to do it
Oh,
as much as they're gonna take care of ours, because they might have some building going on in there or something, but, you know, it really makes a difference if you control those weeds, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Well, if they're gonna throw a fit about it, we'll just spray it.
Yeah,
I mean, if I can spray it, I've got a sprayer, I can spray it myself.
So what's your first, what's phase one, I guess?
Phase one is to find out where we wanna put things for the concrete, so that we can figure out how much concrete we're gonna need and where we wanna put it, so we can get together with, them up north and see how much concrete we can get. We have a contractor out of Minot that sounds like he's willing to do the work for us. The same one that tore out the floor in the hall.
oh, wow.
So, and then it's just more or less to, get started on that part of it. Concrete and utilities, so we know where we wanna have Otter Tail come and, cause they'll bring power to our first building that we put it in. After that, we'll have to get a hold of Weber or somebody like that, and then as far as the same way with plumbing, wherever we can find where our water is at. And then, I don't know if the city will make us put a meter in.
they will.
They will, okay. Cause there's nothing now, we've never.
No. And then,
But it is actually interesting. Is it on us?
yeah,
You're kidding me.
No,
all
anyway,
lights and all that, the museum
Yeah.
pays for.
but,
Okay, well, we've always given you guys.
that's our work.
yeah, they're not
It's
complaining.
a pretty good trade.
Yeah, yeah.
the museum, there's a price that goes,
Yeah.
so there's two, anybody, because I can control in the museum, because it goes into one of our outlets, but there are two outlets, two falls that anybody can put the lights off to that memorial.
Oh, I see.
They're there, but the pipe goes up and it's, solar powered, so when the moon, the sun, gets dark, so power, you got power. So like if you wanted to do something like in the daytime, I know the Methodist Church wanted to have hot chocolate or something, it was like a Sunday afternoon. I said there was no power, because it's, once it gets dark, that's when it lights up, and you notice with the trees, it automatically turns on.
See, so like I said, we're talking about the power. Wherever they bring it in for them, and we put it in that band shelter, we still need to have somebody run to the front under by that Christmas tree. We still need power up there. There needs to be a box up there. For additional stuff.
Well, that's,
So all
we
the
thought
And
about
then, I don't know if that's gonna be on you guys, or if that's gonna be on us to get around there, but there's still, if we're gonna go, if this is gonna be the front, and all the power is gonna be back there, we still need power up here by that Christmas tree for additional stuff that if we decide to do something, or I don't know, like I say, whoever,
Well, we were thinking about putting more flagpoles up too.
Yeah.
is gonna need power.
We'll need power to have the lights on those as well,
Yeah.
so.
the park board needs to get the power taken away from the museum and
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's why I thought we need power, once we decide where it's going back here, and we put the big box in, there needs to be power, we need, whether that's gonna be on us or whoever, to get run power up here, just another little panel, so we have access to power up there.
I think what you and we were looking at was, we would go in and once we figure out where the pads are, then we'll figure, I think we wanted water.
Water, sewer, electricity,
So we want to lay the lines out for that,
get all that done.
get all of it done, pour the concrete, and then groom the rest of the ground. But we are thinking maybe sprinklers and.
That's what you're talking blowing them out in the wintertime, you were already headed to the bathrooms, people in town, and him and I have already had that conversation, close them in the wintertime.
Close them in the wintertime, really blow them out.
And then
We're gonna run into problems.
service that down on the river, the first thing he does every day is take 2 rolls of toilet paper. And the next day, you know how much toilet paper we need?
2 more.
2 rolls. They take it.
So do you have are you making a deadline of where you want phase one to be
kind of like your decision made, like water, sewer, concrete, like as far as the layout goes? We can,
Well, actually, our layout is basically, this is the land. The bathrooms have heat,
Because Helen mentioned, you know, like if we do a winter festival in that park, we're going to need someplace for someone to use the bathroom or that.
That's not even feasible, I mean, because then you start freezing bathrooms up, that's why we close the ones down in Riverside Park. When you start breaking pipes and stuff, and have to start replacing stuff,
You know, how I imagine when you have heat going to
yeah.
certain things.
and then you start,
I looked at some like out at Medora in the park, some of the bathrooms they have out there. They have heaters in them, but I'm still thinking they don't run all winter long.
They're just temporary.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's the early spring, and the late fall.
yeah.
That's why they
still
do
off
it during that,
off the seat.
right.
Well, in porta potties when they do events like that on the
Yeah.
concrete slabs.
That's kind of one reason we put it up there. We had somebody suggest porta potties all the time, but I
I know we don't person who
So, that's where we're starting, and Judy asked that we have a meeting with you guys to let you know where we're at. We have no timetable. I know that stinks, but,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, like, are we hoping to get concrete by May?
Well, we will take care of getting the concrete, right?
right.
Yeah.
We'll do all,
Before you
The
see progress.
starter thing, we'll pretty much do all of it.
Yeah,
And tell you the truth, that's the reason we came away from the city, because they came in and started micro
yeah,
engineering everything, and,
they did
we
like,
can't live with that. If we got a chance to do something, it's legal, what we do and everything else, plus if you let the city get in and get control, then they gotta run it through their
yeah.
architects
With all that, yeah.
and, you know, and double cost everything.
and eventually it'll be all turned over to the park board.
No, and that's fine, I was just wondering, like, if you were thinking, like, are you gonna have any progress on this summer at all, like?
Yeah. I'm hoping we'll get started on it, and by fall we'll have concrete and utilities, that kind of stuff, because that's all gotta be done first.
Right.
And then we'll tackle, sand shell and, coverings for the big picnic table pad and, some of that stuff. I don't look for the bathrooms and the concession area until probably next year. Because we'll have to sit down and decide how big a one we want and who's gonna make it or who's gonna build it.
Right.
The park services or whatever, we have one of the guys that used to work for them, he says, they make the whole thing, they bring it in and you dig a hole where your utilities and everything are and they set it down on it and they hook it up and it's yours.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we want something like that or not, or if we want something else that's built.
Well, I think it's just wonderful for our community.
Oh, absolutely,
We
absolutely.
are gonna have such a nice little place there.
I just think it'd be nice to have some picnic tables up in here.
Yeah, well, that's
You know,
what
Well,
you did
you know-
when you did this.
Yeah,
So you had little ones to sit around, and we had a playground area actually in that, but, I have no idea.
Picnic tables.
we'll start off.
You know what?
Imagine, they just magically appear there.
You know what?
Over there.
And
that's what I told them. I said, and Terry had said something about it would be nice if we could use it while we're doing some of this work, and he said we've got to get picnic tables. I went, ta-da!
Right, yeah.
But he already gave us their picnic tables when they went out, so we have.
Yeah, they're gonna show where the fit on Main, like you said, you're gonna have a picnic for 7 feet to go from the cafe.
Yeah, that's probably just gonna be out there. That's probably just go up out there. Soon. That way I don't forget about it.
What's that?
The story time out there.
The story time down the one with
Oh, okay. I'm gonna talk to Blythe, and I'm really concerned about the Weeds not starting up in,
Yeah,
at the
that was
schoolhouse.
the other thing. Is ISI gonna do that?
Well, it's on,
Did you guys bid ISI into that, into the machinery road?
No.
Yes,
They need to bid into that.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, it was added on last year.
Well, whatever OSI did is,
I would make sure from the contract, though.
was in charge of them, and then
Well, there was miscommunication, because they
Yeah.
were supposed to come to me, and then I never heard nothing about it, and then Dwight took over, so we need to call ISI again and then ask them if that is in that bid. But, do I have an email? Yeah, like 900 letters long.
I've got it out, I'll send it to you.
okay,
Yeah, just so it's going in the spring, so we know, if it's taken care of,
yeah.
or if I've got it there.
I'll have you look at it, but
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, if somebody's, cause the machinery part of it, that's the one.
I'll make a motion to
How are
adjourn.
you, Mike? Haven't seen you, sir, how are you?
Good, good.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to
I'll do
adjourn.
that.
my mom died.
Yeah, just an email for you know, contract, like, present it, so I can make sure that that's in there.
That's South Carolina, yeah.
Savannah,
Georgia.
Georgia,
Yeah.
Charleston.
Love that area.
Yeah, it is, this is nice.
But it was all, I'm gonna give that back to you, that's what's left.
say aye.
Judy, we have a motion and a second to adjourn.
Okay, so who made the motion? Mark. And you made the second?
Mark made a motion to adjourn at 6:09 PM, seconded by Carrie and approved.
Okay, did I?
From my notes,
Oh, I do. Oh, I do.
Thank you guys, and all.